All right, here we are taking a look at something very special in my opinion. It is the Mattel Dr. Ian Malcolm Glider Escape Pack from their 93 Classic line. Now, this line that Mattel is doing right now is for the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park, and it's kind of paying homage to the original Kenner figures from the 90s, and I think this is really, really cool. And this entire line has really piqued my interest, but this set in specific is what I was most intrigued by, because not only does it include a really cool version of Dr. Ian Malcolm, like a really cool design, but it also has my favorite dinosaur. Now, as always, when we are taking a look at things with packaging, we take a look at the packaging first. Now, here we have the box, and it's very cool. I liked this box so much that I wanted to hang on to it. You know, with it, like, I wanted to hang on to the box without destroying it, or because I just think it's so cool looking. It has a very 90s aesthetic to it, which is the aesthetic that I love about Jurassic Park, that I feel like was lost as the movies went on. But you can see here, I have a pretty bad taping job here, because they packaged this very, very interesting, and it took me a while to figure out. And in order to get to the good inside, I did kind of mess up the box. But I like the box so much that I want to keep it alongside the figures. And I think from the front, you can't really see the damage. So I think we're all good in that department. I was very upset, though, when I busted this box open and immediately taped it back up. But here is the front of the box. We have a very, very cool bit of artwork. It says 93 Classic on it. The JP30 logo for the 30th anniversary. Dr. Ian Malcolm Glider Escape Pack. Now, actually, something that I may get into more at the later in the video. This idea is not unique. Like the Ian Malcolm with the glider is actually a thing from the Lost World toy line from '97. But I think it's really cool that they brought that back for this line. Here's the side, the destroyed side. It has the Jurassic Park logo on it and like the black silhouetted jungle with the sunset on it. And here's this back. I think this is really, really cool as well. It has like a little diorama going on here. But I think this is actually like all, like these images are superimposed onto this background, whereas in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, they actually had the figures photographed on a kind of like jungle diorama, which looked very, very cool, and I like what they did here with that. And here we have some of the contents. Inside, we have the Dilophosaurus, some capture gear. We have Ian Malcolm here. We have a baby Triceratops and his accessories. And here we have the other things I was talking about, the Red Rex, the Alan Grant Gallimimus set, and then the modified Ford Explorer and funky fella there. So that's the box. On the bottom here we have some stuff, some legal information, some logos, and then here we have a top. Very, very cool box, but the box is not exactly what we're here to talk about. So let's get straight into the figures included, and first we shall talk about Ian Malcolm. Here's the Ian Malcolm figure. Very, very small. Something about these Mattel Jurassic World and Jurassic Park figures is that they're very little. And I don't think I like that as much compared to the Kenner Jurassic Park figures, who are a few inches taller. But I like this design of Ian Malcolm with the gloves and everything. This is inspired heavily by the Lost World Ian Malcolm with the short sleeves and the gloves and everything like that. But I still like it a lot. Paint is pretty well done for something so small. I mean, maybe not the strongest Jeff Goldblum likeness, but you can tell like it's the character that it's trying to be. Like this is so obviously Ian Malcolm that like it doesn't need to look exactly like Jeff Goldblum. This is it. And he's primarily black. He has a little bit of silver paint on the belt buckle. Very, very standard stuff. Very, very, nothing incredible, but I mean, you get what you pay for. This is a very well done figure. And up next we have the Dilophosaurus, which I feel like is the main thing that people are buying this set for, because it's a new sculpt of the Dilophosaurus. Mattel has not done this mold of the Dilophosaurus yet, and it has the frill down. Like almost every other Dilophosaurus that has been released by Mattel has had the frill up, and you didn't have the option of removing it. Teeth and gums inside are painted very well. I really like the kind of like lime green stripe running down the body. I think this is very, very cool. You can see the frill is in the down position it's sculpted in. And you can see the red eyes there, very, very menacing, very, very cool. I'm not sure I'm a fan of the way this jaw looks, because for the way that the articulation is, the jaw kind of juts out a little bit and it looks kind of silly. But other than that, I think this is very cool. Here we have the scan thing for the Jurassic World like facts app. If you want to put this figure in, usually the scan thing is on the foot, but I think I actually liked it more on the foot than how they have this, because this is fairly obvious that there's something going on here. The claws on the fingers and the toes are not painted, but I think I'm okay with that for something so small. It doesn't bother me like it may bother other people. Very well sculpted. I feel like out of all the Dilophosaurs I have created by Mattel, this is my favorite so far. But next up we have the baby Triceratops. This baby Triceratops looks really, really well. It is a fine like blend of how the Kenner figures, the Kenner infants used to look, and like it adds its own stuff. It's a kind of soft, I guess not too soft, but it's a softer like plastic, almost rubber-like material, very thick, and very cool. The entire body is not painted except for the white of the horns and around the eyes and the black beady eyes. I almost wish that they would have painted, if anything else, the beak. But I mean, this is really good looking actually, and it doesn't bother me at all that it's not painted. The sculpt was fantastic on that. All right, now let's take a look at articulation. So going back to our mini Jeff Goldblum here, the head is attached on a ball joint. So you can rotate 360 degrees, and you can not, because of the sculpt of the hair, you can't really look up that much. And you can't really look down that much either. But you can see that the movement is there. Now, there's some sort of hinge joint that allows you to rotate entirely with the arm, go in and out. It might be some kind of ball, but I'm not certain. Actually, no, it's not a ball, because you cannot, I don't know what you would call this joint, but the elbows, they rotate and hinge. Not the biggest range of motion, but I mean, with how small this figure is, you can still get into some decent enough pose. Now, a little bit of, I didn't notice this actually when going through the sculpts and stuff like that. There's a little bit of a quality control issue here, but it's not a glaring problem, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Now we got the legs here. They come out very, very, very far, and they go up very high. Very, very nice. But they cannot go back that far, and I think that's primarily because of the butt, which I feel like could have benefited from a softer plastic, but it didn't. So the legs cannot go back very far. At the waist, we have a 360 degree turn. At the knees, big, ooh, that looks actually kind of funky, but we have a hinge and we can rotate. I think we can rotate 360. Yes, we can. Okay, very nice. And both legs can do that. No rotation on the hands. So that's Ian Malcolm. For the Dilophosaurus, like you saw earlier, mouth can open up almost practically a 90-degree angle, which is looking a little rough. I probably wouldn't do that, but you can if you want to. And for the arms, just a 360-degree rotation. A little tight, but you can get those arms around there like that. And I'm assuming, let me get the arms out of the way. I'm assuming it's the same for the legs. Oh, actually, ooh, okay, so the legs are a little tight. Very tight, actually, which is making me a little nervous when I'm moving those. I feel like they could just get loosened up, but I don't think I'm feeling brave enough to try to move those. So if mine are very stiff, so I'm probably gonna say that there's not a wide range of articulation on these legs, but there probably should be, and mine just needs a little bit of hot water or something to get that going. So if you have this figure and your Dilophosaurus, you're probably better off than me. And the baby Triceratops does not have any articulation. It's just a solid rubber piece. So we took a look at sculpt and paint, we took a look at articulation. Now we're gonna take a look at accessories. And I didn't know whether or not to include all of these as accessories, but we're gonna save the best for last in this segment. But here we have capture gear. Now, capture gear was a popular thing starting in the Wave 2 from the first Jurassic Park line. And basically, there was this whole theme of like recapturing the dinosaurs in the park. And to do that, the characters would have to put like metal shackles and muzzles and all kinds of stuff on the dinosaurs. It was a very cool like action feature. That and the dino damage was very, very cool. And we will talk about dino damage in an upcoming video about the actual Kenner line when we take a look at the older Kenner figures. But here we have the Dilophosaurus with the rubber shackles, very soft pieces that allow you to slide the stuff on and off, which looks really, really cool, actually. I like this a lot, and I really like how they did that. We're going to put this guy down here, and we're going to take a look at the baby Triceratops, because even the baby Triceratops has his own piece. Now, I'm not quite sure how effective that is, but it's just a little piece that slides on the back of the baby Triceratops and just sits there like that. I'm not quite sure that he's captured, but I guess a job well done. Now, maybe even, I haven't tried this, I don't think this is going to work, but can you hold the baby Triceratops? I don't think you can hold the baby Triceratops by the handle. Oh, you can. It's incredibly heavy. It's incredibly heavy, but if you were... Yeah, it's not probably not going to work, but it's worth a try. I feel like that's fun. So we have these two captured dinosaurs, and now for like the main play feature of this set, we have an obnoxiously large gun with this really cool translucent green bullet that actually shoots. Pretty strong too. Stuff like this used to kill kids in the 90s, so but I think this is really cool. And this is really awesome. So this is the glider that Ian Malcolm comes with. It also comes with a cool translucent like tank piece, jetpack piece, and these straps are really finicky. So we're just gonna try to see if I can get it on camera. I might have to cut though. But you slide him in like that because only one of the straps comes undone. And then you gotta put the peg through the hole on his back. And then you have to like rotate this enough, and then you have to like slide. I might take this wing off so you can see. You have to like, there's a little peg down here where you put the strap in. And then, actually, I think I got it. Yeah, I think I got it. It took me a little longer on the first try, but I think the rubber is now used to being manipulated. So that is the glider, and I think this thing is so crazy and cool, and I love it. And maybe, I don't think the wing's all the way in. Okay. Now this gun, it took me a while to figure out, but I thought it was like a rifle. But I mean, this is the size of him. So I thought it was a rifle at first, but it came to be that I think this is a shoulder-mounted thing. So, like that, which just looks insane. So now you can have Ian Malcolm out here. In theory, you can have Ian Malcolm out here. Oh, shoot. Bear with me. So now you can have Ian Malcolm flying in, and then okay. You can have Ian Malcolm flying in, and I mean, you get the appeal, right? All right, so that was my review of the 93 Classic Dr. Ian Malcolm Escape Pack from Mattel. This video is probably a lot lower quality than my other figure reviews, purely because there's a lot moving around in my room right now, and I don't really have a good setup. I never really did have a good setup for these kinds of videos, but even now it's a lot worse than it has been. And I haven't done a figure review in a minute, so I'm a little rusty, but I hope nevertheless you guys enjoyed. I've been Sean from Atomic Productions. Subscribe and like if you haven't already to see more content like this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.